Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. I apologize for the background noise, but there's not much I can do about that because I'm being persecuted, and how they're persecuting me really factors in regards to that. So I'm going to try to speak in a way that's more close to the phone so you can kind of turn down the volume and hear less background noise and just my voice. Okay, so this video is part 1 about women, and it's extremely important. If you don't understand these things and live them, then you're worshiping the devil. I'll prove definitively, even though it's very controversial, mind you, I'll still prove definitively that all females, all people should obey God through me, or they're simply not wise. And to not be wise in a world where it's a sort of martial art test, a monotheistic martial art test, is to be evil. So either you're wise or you're evil. And wise in terms of moral wisdom. So I'm going to go over Proverbs 4 in this video, and in the next video, I'm going to probably make it at a park, I don't know. In that video, I'll talk about Proverbs 5. Proverbs 4, get wisdom at any cost. Listen, my sons, to a father's instruction, pay attention and gain understanding. I give you sound learning, so do not forsake my teaching. For I too was a son to my father, still tender and cherished by my mother. Then he taught me, and he said to me, take hold of my words with all your heart. Keep my commands, and you will live. Get wisdom. Get understanding. Do not forget my words or turn away from them. Do not forsake wisdom, and she will protect you. Love her, and she will watch over you. The beginning of wisdom is this: get wisdom, though it costs you all you have. Get understanding. It's interesting how this overlaps with my argument, right? With females. Not just wisdom as an idea that's being described as a woman. The wise nation, the wise Spirit of God, what have you, okay, though the Spirit of God is not a woman in that sense. We'll get to that in another video. It also overlaps with the idea of a woman worth having. So if all attractive women, all women out there are not worth having, then you must find your way to heaven quickly. Scramble to move masterfully and do God's work, and die and be glad to go to the woman that's worth having. And that is part of why it's so evil that people have bred attractive females, and females that are appealing, okay, more than the other ones, okay, because those are the ones the real righteous man is going to seek. First and foremost, the pinnacle of guys who worked on their mind, body, and soul, so on and so forth. They made it so they're all evil. With a white supremacist standard, an unfair left standard, unfair right standard, unfair libertarian, what have you. So anyway, cherish her and she will exalt you. Embrace her and she will honor you. She will give you a garland to grace your head and present you with a glorious crown. Right? So these crowns are a result of wisdom. Actually judging correctly. Not judging by mere appearances, but effectively discerning and judging with sound judgment, and judging the situation correctly and acting accordingly. Listen, my son, accept what I say, and the years of your life will be many. I instruct you in the way of wisdom and lead you along straight paths. So make straight the way for the Lord. Make wisdom, righteousness, and justice the way for the Lord. So it says make that way. That way is the only way. That is the way, the truth, and the life. And it's the only way to heaven. When you walk, your steps will not be hampered. When you run, you will not stumble. Hold on to my instruction. Do not let it go. Guard it well, for it is your life. So guard the instruction well. And we're going to get to verse 23 where it says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it momentarily. So guard the instruction and the proper scale. The divine scale. Divinely proper, not in terms of English proper, but divinely proper. And that's not being done with dating, with martial arts, with governance, with religion. They're just not doing it. Do not set foot on the path of the wicked or walk in the way of evildoers. Do not compromise. Be willing to die for moral precision. Do not step foot. It's saying being precisely right. Do not even lay one foot. Do not even touch the path of the wicked or walk in the way of evildoers. Now this gets a little bit tricky, as when I was younger I used to hang out with thugs. Why? Because all paths were wrong and I was finding my way. Like it says in Isaiah when it predicted Christ would come back, or Christ would come, he said before he knows the difference between right and wrong, he's going to do X, Y, and Z. So my path was to go hang out with these people. That was part of the path of the righteous because it's part of the development process. Because nobody had shown me precisely what to do in a way that had warrior appeal, that would appeal to the top martial artists ever. That's an important distinction to make. So it says avoid the wicked path, right? Avoid it, do not travel on it, turn from it and go your own way. Go God's way, the truth, and the life, the truth, righteousness, justice, wisdom. For they cannot rest until they do evil. They are robbed of sleep till they make someone stumble, right? Their water that they're a fish in, right, is the water of wickedness. The bread that they eat is the bread of wickedness and injustice and deceit and mere human rules, customs, and traditions, mere social norms, mere neocolonial norms, what have you. For they cannot rest until they do evil. They are robbed of sleep till they make someone stumble. They eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. The wine of violence, first and foremost, is it is the blood of the wicked. It is the reproductive cycles of the wicked. They breed, right? Mind, body, soul, and spirit. By default, when you say, they're in a culture, a cultivative cycle, it overlaps with spirit, but it's also physical, right? We see over time, if you do martial arts with nothing but moral precision, the body shape of your young are going to change to that effect, okay? Unless you're being sabotaged or something. You see what I'm saying? You're going to see that mind, body, soul, spirit. And they're going to persecute you, and we're going to kind of be able to estimate who's persecuted in that kind of way every generation to be that, right? You know them by their fruit. No good tree can bear bad fruit. They might sabotage you to confuse you about the tree and the fruit that is bearing, but it's not actually bearing bad fruit, and those who are discerning will make that distinction. The path of the righteous is like the morning sun shining ever brighter till the full light of day. So I started off talking sense to thugs and little kids. And as I started progressing down the path, I started shining brighter until I switched over to my martial art path. As I was reasoning with women in terms of romance, my arguments got more powerful until they just ran away from them because they were wicked. And these are the arguments that God makes. But the way of the wicked is like deep darkness. They do not know what makes them stumble. They fear the light. They reject the light. My son, pay attention to what I say. Turn your ear to my words. Do not let them out of your sight. Keep them within your heart. Keep that wisdom, that righteousness, and justice. You people are not doing that. For they are life to those who find them, and health to one whole body. Mind, body, soul, and spirit. They are life. They are the spirit of mind, body, soul, spirit, cultivation of moral precision. And what is its pinnacle? Well, does Martin Luther King go beyond Bill Gates? Does he go beyond Carlton? Does he go beyond George Bush? It's this particular African expression that is most expressed in the Royal African Falcon Martial Art Order, more expressed than in Martin Luther King. Listen carefully. If Martin Luther King was thinner and struck with world record speed, and conveyed a more precise truth, is that not a greater message, a more intense message? And that's why he said his eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord, and that he's not the Lord, I am. God in me, the top martial artist ever possible. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Keep your mouth free of perversity. Keep corrupt talk from your mouth. Well, Jesus called them dogs and broods of vipers. Okay, they're not talking about foul language. They're talking about the language of wickedness and of encouraging people to be wicked. Let your eyes look straight ahead. Fix your gaze directly before you. Give careful thought to the paths of your feet and be steadfast in all your ways. Do not turn to the right or the left. Keep your foot from evil. It's saying be precisely good. Universal, pinpointed moral precision and the wise, righteous decision and focused moral intensity. Thank you.